Welcome to On Par with Maury Povich. From the streets of Harlem to the Billboard charts, and from basketball dreams to acting and entrepreneurship, Dave East isn't just a rapper. He's a storyteller, a builder, somebody who knows a thing or two about changing lanes without losing the wheel. This is On Par with Maury Povich, and today we're talking about the grind behind greatness. That kind of represents you, doesn't it, Dave?
I like that.
Okay, so to get things started, you like this?
You brought me some more.
How's that? A little champagne for you. Okay?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You all right
man.
for that?
Yep, I
Okay.
appreciate it.
When did you get in? I thought, my
I super
research told me
appreciate it.
that you liked Henny.
That was, what's crazy about the Hennessy, man? That was my initial thing, but I had a major loss behind Henny, so I kind of left it alone. I ain't had no Henny since 2020. That's the last
But
time
you
I
like
had Henny.
this.
But I could do the grapes, the good grapes.
There you go.
I could do the grapes. Thank you, man.
There is really something to your journey. I mean, it's almost like you've been everywhere.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about it in the beginning because I have a little reference there.
Okay.
You're a really good basketball player out of Springbrook High School
Yes.
in suburban Maryland to Washington, D.C.
Yes, Springbrook, man. That was a real fun moment in my life, and just exploring, being out of New York, being somewhere where, Maryland was a little more spread out. You know what I mean? You had to have a car.
It's suburban,
You know what I mean? There wasn't no train. It was just different. But
less people.
You know what I mean? Way less people. You know what I mean? But the people I met and the relationships I built during that time, and the basketball I got to play, and that was priceless.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, 50 years before you were around, maybe 60, I played ball in D.C.
That's
okay?
crazy.
Right? And I went
Fire.
to a place called Turkey Thicket.
Okay.
I went to a place called the Chevy Chase Playground.
Okay. Chevy. I'm
These are the-
familiar with Chevy Chase, that area.
These were the days of Elgin Baylor,
Ooh,
Dave Bing.
Dave Bing. That's my father's. Not to cut you off. Keep that thought.
That was your father's favorite?
Favorite basketball player, Dave Bing.
Spingarn High School.
Dave Bing. That's so crazy you said that.
I did a documentary way back in the 60s when Detroit was blowing up, when he was the big star of the Pistons.
Right.
And I did a documentary on Dave.
That's so crazy.
And he ends up being the mayor of Detroit.
Of the city, yeah, that's crazy.
But there's somebody I know that you hung around with a lot back then that everybody has seen if they like basketball, and that was
Right.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, KD, man. Yep, for sure.
Did you know he was going to be that good?
Yeah, I can't say where he's taking it now to 2025, but definitely he always he was different. He was taller than most. He did things that the average person his size couldn't do, or didn't
Yeah,
do
I mean,
that
he's
smooth.
like 6'11" or something like that.
He up there, but he
And-
played like a guard,
Exactly.
So that was
Great ball handler.
and he had that. He could always shoot. He always, you know what I mean? That
What was it like playing AAU ball like that?
That was like, I go back to what you asked me earlier. That was some of the funnest times of my life, because I got to see a lot of the guys that's in the NBA now, or that been in the NBA the last
Like who?
Harden,
wow.
Kevin Love, Westbrook. A lot of them. I graduated 2006, so a lot of the guys from that class that went on to the NBA, I seen them in AAU or played against them, or you know what I mean. So that was dope to see them transition that far and go win championships and all of that. That was nice to see.
So you play college ball at two places,
Right.
at Richmond and Towson,
Right.
and then things changed.
Yeah, it took a shift for me.
How do
I
you
can call
go
it that.
from thinking basketball
Right.
to messing with a kind of a Crips outfit?
Honestly, the Crip thing was more like my neighborhood and the people I would be around outside of ball. So when I would go home, you get what I'm saying?
Back
Like,
up in Harlem.
that was in Queens.
Oh, in Queens.
Yeah, the Crip thing for me started in Queens. But the basketball thing for me was so promising, and then it was not promising at all. It got tricky for me. So in that time, I'm coming back to New York every weekend. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm starting to drift away from what I should have been doing or the path that I was on. I start drifting, and when you come back to the streets, they get a little tricky.
And you ended up in jail.
Yeah.
For
Definitely.
like what, 6 months or so?
Yeah, I got sentenced to a year. I did 6 months, and then when I came home, I had to do an ankle thing for like another 6 months. But that was in Baltimore, and as soon as I got off the ankle monitor, my PO at that time, she was so cool, but she would just talk to me about what am I preparing to do, what do I see myself doing. She wasn't really on me about my peeing. You know what I mean? A lot of things that the average PO be on you about, trying to get you to go
all
back.
About peeing in the cup.
You know what I mean? She was like, as long as you staying out of trouble. So towards the end of my probation with her, I told her I wanted to go back to New York because my address at that time was based in Baltimore.
Right.
So I said, is there any way I could, I have a different address in New York. I don't want to stay here no more. I have a job situated up there for me. She said, if you go up there, you don't get in no trouble. You know what I mean? Go ahead. So I came back to New York, hoping I didn't get in trouble for like a good 2-3 months. You know what I mean? And then I got off of it. I had to go back and forth to court down there, all of that. I remember that was a time. But I got out of it. Got out of it. A little bump in the road.
You think your conversion to Islam had something to do with it?
I believe that the people I was around during that time, my big brother Bully, my boy Cash, there was a lot of people I was around that was born Muslim. So I'm watching them throughout their day. I'm with them every day. You know what I mean? I'm watching them pray. I'm watching them don't eat no pork. I'm just watching their dedication to their religion. I'm watching it throughout the day with all the distractions that could still come. And it intrigued me. You know what I mean? It intrigued me. So when I came back to New York, I got up with my brother, Wayno. He was actually my first manager with the music thing, but he took me to the Bronx. I took my Shahada, and I've been on that since.
And it's helped.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like Islam for me, honestly, is that voice once you leave your parents. You always got your mom or your dad, you know what I mean? So when you were living with them, you thinking that I don't want to get in trouble because my mom might, you know what I mean? As an adult, I'm out of my parents.
Right.
I feel Allah does that for me. I hear him. Or, you know what I mean? I hear that, like, I can't do that. Or I shouldn't be over here this long, or I shouldn't. Just helps my decision making getting older.
You think in this country there's a lot of misunderstanding about Islam?
1,000%. But there's misunderstandings about anything religious.
Yeah.
I think. I think that based on a few of the things that have happened, the Muslims get a bad rap.
Yeah, because of the politics.
But it's been a million different. I'm not big on religion. I'm not one to really indulge in that. But I believe that the bad rap that Islam gets is based on a few of the things that have been done. You know what I mean? But I think overall, a lot of different religions have done things that's catastrophe type stuff.
I think
it's up to what you believe in.
I think the biggest misunderstanding is that it's a religion that promotes peace,
right?
And not
pure
war.
peace, pure peace.
And yet, between whether you're Jewish, whether you're
right.
Arab, whether Islam, it doesn't matter.
Right.
The circumstances give
right.
it a bad rap.
They give a bad rap. Our greeting, salam alaikum, that's peace be unto you. It's peace from the gate, So, and that's the Islam that I fell in love with, that I transitioned to. When I took my Shahada, I sat in a room full of people I never met, never seen. They all embraced me. Right. You know what I mean? So it really was a brother thing for me.
And it shows up in you daily.
Yeah, just just how I am.
Are you praying 5 times a day?
I try.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely try.
So you're out of jail. I don't know what you're doing up in Harlem or wherever you are.
I'm trying to figure out my next move. So when I got out, I moved to Ravenswood. That's a public housing in Astoria, Queens, like Long Island City. My Aunt Barbara, God bless her soul, she passed 2008. So the apartment she lived in, my cousin who I grew up with, he got the apartment. You know what I mean? So when I got out, I'm like, I don't want to go back to my mom's. I don't want to. At this time, I couldn't be around my dad at this point. So I'm like, cousin, I got to come move in with you, man. The school thing didn't work out. You know what I mean? He telling me, yo, I got roommates in here already. Ain't no room.
This is your cousin?
This is my cousin, my heart. You hear me? He said, hey, I ain't got no space in here. But he's so cool. Like, I knew him all my life. So I knew if I could just get in there, I could find a couch. I could find a little corner. You know what I mean? He's not the type that's going to tell me to leave if I could get in there. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. I got over there.
Were you always a fan of rap?
Yeah, that was all my life. Well, honestly, my moms, they played more like Motown and
oh, really?
Yeah, Earth, Wind and Fire, Sade. So that's really my house background. But
which, by the way, you kind of returned to that in some of your early music.
Yeah, a lot of, yeah. You know what it is? That's what my love for samples and my love for certain production, it comes from the music I used to hear my mother playing or my father playing in my house and at cookouts and barbecue. You know what I mean? Like just the music they played, it wasn't a bunch of rap. My cousins introduced me to the rap. Snoop Dogg early, Chronic and Doggy Style, all of the West Coast. Then Biggie, then DMX and Pun and all of that came like it was like I had so much to learn in so little time because it was so many rappers that it was brand new. So I was trying to learn everything about Outkast from Atlanta to Snoop and them in LA.
There's so much.
Yeah, it was a lot. But to me, that's where my love even to this day comes from. That's why I still have a passion for it because it came from that era of music before camera phones. You know what I mean? When it was really.
When did you know that
that's what I wanted to do?
This was going to work?
I knew it was going to work when Nas's brother, Jungle, told me.
Nas played a big role.
You nice. Yeah, Nas changed my whole, everything I had going on. He definitely set it in the direction for me to feed my family.
Why do you think he had a belief in you?
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like it was a lot of familiarity there as far as the neighborhood and me us knowing mutual people. But I think my storytelling in my music and me being so vivid about the things I've seen and how I could articulate that, put that on music, I think that kind of probably is what attracted, because that's what he did. That's what I was a fan of him for, the way he could paint a picture. So I think that might have had some. You would have to ask him, but I think that had something to do with it. And
that's how you end up at Def Jam?
That was Mass Appeal. That was my first get in was shouts to Mass Appeal, but that was Nas's actual label. Yeah, I was with them I think 2015 till about 2018, good like 3 years. Put out some dope projects. Traveled the world, went to Dubai. Ran around. Yeah, that was an experience that was brand new for me, and it really shifted how I view the game.
You get people in your camp,
but I think all of it is the journey. You know what I mean, Maury? Like,
hey, I think it's with all of us.
You know what I mean?
It's the journey.
You can't just get to what you're trying to get to, and all of the little steps is what make it dope.
It's the journey.
It's the journey.
And that's, if you're successful,
right?
It's not the end game.
Right.
It's the journey along the way.
And you remember it, and I remember when it wasn't this, you know what I mean? When
Sure.
It was none of this, and now I've actually got it to this, you pat yourself on the back.
I mean, like, you end up being a Grammy nominee.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Things that I never, I pictured it, but I just didn't realize, I didn't see how it could happen. I didn't have a cousin at a label. I didn't have an uncle that was a famous beat.
I had no connection.
Not one. I have nobody related to me was doing anything musically. You know what I mean? That was me saying I'm gonna go against everything my family been thinking, because they all thought I was gonna be the next NBA.
Right.
You know what I mean? That didn't work. But I didn't know how to explain that. So the only way I could explain it was I gotta become successful in something else quick. I can't leave a lot of time for them to be asking me what I'm doing.
Right.
And it worked. You know what I mean? It worked.
How do you end up with a guy who's been on this podcast named Gary V? How?
It's my guy right there, man. That's. I think energy brought us together. Good energy.
I mean,
great energy. Energy brought me and you together today. You know what I mean?
I understand that, but he ain't into hip hop. He's not into.
He is. You know what? You know what's crazy? They say never judge a book. You know, never judge a book. You'd be surprised with Gary. You know what I mean? Like me and him really connected. I'm gonna be honest with you. Around the time, so me and God bless the dead, me and Nipsey Hussle was very close. And
wow, you and Nipsey were close.
Yeah, me and Nip was close. Me and Nip, I learned a lot from Nip, musically, life-wise, brand-wise, just how to better me being an entrepreneur beyond the rap. You know what I mean? I got a lot from Nip. But Gary V was somebody that Nip was very intrigued. You know what I mean? Like what the things
I
that
had
Gary,
no idea Nipsey was
the things that Gary V brought to the table, and his energy and his you know, he's very like, you know, he gonna let you know.
Right.
His confidence speaks. You know what I mean? So, and I think that attracted Nip.
Anything he comes out of his mouth, he's so confident.
You get what I mean? And you have billions of people that need that.
Yeah.
Even if they just hear it from somebody else, they need that little. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think Nipsey was really interested in what Gary was talking about. And at the time, me and Nip was very locked in.
So it's about ownership.
So that
because
that's
what Gary's about. Ownership.
Ownership.
Own it. You have to own it.
Own it.
Don't work for somebody else. Own it yourself.
Own it. Because at the end of the day, what else do you have? You know? If it's something you worked for, if it's your name, if it's something you believe in, you know what I mean? You cried, bled, sweated behind, you know what I mean? You should own it.
Especially your music.
Yeah.
That's
been on my mind a long time.
There are tons of stories about people in the music business.
Right.
And they get fleeced.
Yeah.
Or somebody else owns what they really are about.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep it for yourself?
You know what's crazy with that? I'm going to be honest with you. It's about, to me, everything is in stages. Like we were speaking about the journey.
Right.
And coming into the game, I wasn't thinking ownership.
Well, sure. What you're trying to do
is
get noticed.
I need to get on. I need to be in front of these cameras. I need these DJs to hear me. I need to be at these, you know what I mean? Sure. I needed to get on, you know what I mean? And in the midst of that,
sign it.
You know what I mean?
Sign up.
You're not thinking about none of that.
Sign up.
You sign it. Come on, put me down. Yeah. That's guaranteed money, cool. But 10 years later, 15 years later, and when you honestly, you done spun that, you done blew through all that money, made more money, blew that money, like where you realize it was, you know, at that time that money was very important.
Sure.
As far as trying to move out of the, you know what I mean, where I was at. But now I have children, so I think about owning, like that stuff they would own.
Sure.
And they never had to rap a day, and they, you know what I mean, they don't rap, but that came 10 years later to me, you know what I mean? And hearing artists like Nip speak up, because he rapped that all the time. F the middleman, F the middleman. The middleman was the label, right. You know what I mean? And I was hearing them, but I wasn't hearing them. I was hearing them, but I wasn't hearing them, because I had my own, how I was trying to do it. But now I sit back like, damn, it would be nice to own all of that music. Now moving forward, I'm independent, of course. You know what I mean? I was able to.
Even somebody like Taylor Swift is going back to buy her music.
You get what I mean? So, because it matters. You have people that, I see that's the new thing. People are buying people's whole collections,
right,
and catalogs for, you know what I mean? So it'd be best to own that. So they could come to you for that. If somebody is interested in your catalog, they don't have to go to the label or go to somebody that don't really care about your catalog. You know what I mean?
Of which you get a low percentage.
But you getting a little piece
and
of.
the middle guy.
Come on. And you did all the rapping. You did all the videos. You found all the beats. You know what I mean? Make it make sense.
Yeah. And now, I mean, you're doing all kinds of different things.
Right.
Why are you acting?
I always wanted to act. And
Is it because you have a good smile?
Thank you, man. Shouts to my dentist, man, Ruben Stein. But I always wanted to act because I felt like before rap, I was in love with movies as a kid. You know what I mean? Like I was a big Stephen King, all Stephen King movies. I liked horror. I loved movies as a child, like, you know what I mean? And then I fell in love with rap. and writing my own music and stuff like that. But movies was always something that, you know what I mean, I wanted, because I always believed that was that person. You know what I mean? Until you see him in another movie, like, oh, he's acting.
You were in Wu-Tang.
Yeah, that was dope. Shouts to RZA, man. Shouts to the whole Wu, Ghost, Chef, Method Man, everybody. Shouts to all of them. That was iconic for me in my life because I grew up the Wu-Tang. You know what I mean, as a kid. So to be able to portray one of those guys, that was heavy.
What's it like being a father of 2?
3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Got another little baby, another little girl. I'm a girl dad, total, all girls.
All girls.
All girls.
My first 2 were girls.
Girls?
Yeah. I'll tell you, girls love their father.
They love their dad. 1,000%. That's why people ask me all the time, and I got friends with sons, and you know, as a man, you be like, I mean, you wish you could be doing push-ups and all, I mean, like, but them girls, they really, you they superhero. You know what I mean? You they from emotions to everything. You know what I mean? But as a man, for me, it kind of, I had to reset because I'm not used to that. I wasn't used to, you know, girl, she just crying just because that's how she feel. Nothing went wrong, nothing happened. That's just how she feeling. I had to learn how to, you know what I mean? So I think fatherhood is the best hood, but I'm with them every day. And the older one got a phone, so she FaceTime me.
How old is she?
She 9. Kyrie 9 years old.
People are trying to keep phones out of the...
You know what? I have to limit it because it's. I think about my childhood. We didn't have phones. We was outside playing chase, hide and seek.
Exactly.
Falling, cutting
You
our
were
legs.
no different than us. We were
know
just,
what I mean?
You were outside, and our parents were happy if they ever got us inside.
You get what I mean? I used to come home, my hands would be black, like totally black from the basketball, from the bikes to everything. You know what I mean? The kids now, they get an iPad. All they looking for is a charger. I have more arguments about a charger in my house. Where is the charger? They taking the charger while I'm asleep. Oh, you know what I mean? But yeah, I try to limit it. I try to mix it. You know what I mean? Make them go outside and then you know what I mean? Let them do the iPad thing because that's what's popular right now.
Why is the Harlem sound so important to you?
To me, because I feel like it's unique. I feel like even if you take it all the way back to the Harlem Renaissance days of Duke Ellington and Billie Holiday and just that it's always been a place of talent. You know what I mean? From a brown perspective. You know what I mean? If I'm saying that right. But it's always been very talented, whether it was art, fashion, music. So I feel like me being a part of that in my bloodline and my family and coming from that, I have almost like a duty, you know what I mean, to be almost at the top of all of that, whether it's the music or the fashion or whatever I put my name to. I want to kind of be considered one of the best doing it, and I think that comes from Harlem and my family, my upbringing.
Some rappers, you know, have kind of like, you know, that's not for us.
Right. I think it's to each his own, and wherever you're at in your life at that time. You know, some people at 25, that's all you want. You know what I mean? At 35, you might want something different. So that's why I started to say, you know, let me jump into this acting. Let me jump into these clothes. Where I got a more, you know what I mean? Because I personally don't want to rap forever. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, I think that's why you've gotten into other ends of life.
Right. I love it, but you know, I don't want to be. I can't say it because I see older guys now and they still nice. They still still rapping.
Let's talk about one of those older guys, okay? And I've been wondering about this lately. Snoop, way back, was as big as you could get.
I think he is the biggest rapper.
And now it's like a reinvention of Snoop.
Right.
Why?
He got older. He had children. His children had children. He's seen a lot of friends pass. He's seen life. You know, life goes on. And with life going on, you got to go on with it.
But he's crossover.
Yeah, he out of here.
I mean, he's doing commercials.
He's the most. I think he's the most household name as far as rap goes. I think the world knows Jay-Z. The world knows Nas. But I think Snoop Dogg, you know, the Martha, all of that, certain things he did, he crept into other households, like, you know what I mean? So I think he, as far as this goes, rap-wise, I think I call him Unc. That's Uncle Snoop. He got it.
When I saw him every day on the Olympics, I went, wow, this is...
It's beautiful for the culture, though, because
I bet.
Somebody that, you know, Snoop first album, he was talking about murder was the case. So to see him go from that to the Olympics, it gives me hope. It gives every kid all over the world in the ghetto or wherever they coming from hope. Like I could, regardless of what you've done or what troubles you've had in your past, you could, you know what I mean? You can still do something, make something out of yourself. And I think Snoop is like the best example of that, because he doesn't shun the youth. You know, a lot of older people, they be like, I don't get with the young. Right. He got a joint with Sexy Red right now. You know what I mean? Like, he keeps up with what's going on, but he's still the legend that he is. You know what I mean? I love Snoop. I love Snoop.
And if you worked with him?
I had Snoop come all through Harlem, ride with me. He got out of his car, got in the car with me. I took him to the fish spot. We got food. Came to the studio, recorded. I went to his studio. Me and Snoop, they got a whole album that we never released with Def Jam. But Unc always showed me genuine love from day one. And it was crazy to me because I've been watching him all my life.
So when you went with Def Jam, I guess Russell Simmons was gone, right?
Yeah, Russ been out the building. I think Russ been out of there. I didn't see Russ when I got there.
You know, my daughter was Russell's lawyer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So she knew Russell back late 90s, early
But see,
2000s.
I think that was the Def Jam. I think that was
And she was there when he sold his end of the business.
You know, for me, Def Jam was more like, it was beautiful. You know what I mean? I loved my time over there, but it was more like a New York staple for me. Like, Rough Riders was over there, DMX, and Jay-Z was like, all of the top people that I was idolizing. They all was over there at some point in time. You know what I mean? So when it came my time, and they was like, yo, they want you over. I'm like, oh, come on, we got to do that. That's Def Jam. Now I'll be in that 50-year anniversary book or that movie they make or whatever they do that goes to Def Jam. Since Russ and them started it, I'll be a part of that. So that played in my mind. Like, it was just like a home base thing. Like, I gotta be, you know what I mean? That would be dope to be a part of that.
That was big stuff.
That was big. But as time go on, you realize
ownership.
We go back to that ownership. Exactly.
Would you say Nas was a mentor for you?
1,000%. 1,000%. Even more in me observing. He mentored me more in just me observing more than he said to me.
You know, I believe to be successful in what you do, you need somebody to observe. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
My first job in D.C. in television was for Channel 5 in Washington, okay? And I had a general manager who said, if you really want to know the business, I'm going to leave my door open, and every meeting that I have with the sales department, the program department, the promotion department, you can come in and listen and watch. And so that observation from that guy, back when I was in my 20s, was the biggest lesson I ever got in the business.
Got to see it.
And so what you're saying is watching Nas.
Right. And just how he maneuvered and how he at this age, he's still putting out top music. He's still investing in, just the way he took it, it was always more of me like, I'm gonna watch him. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people I could watch, but like, let me keep an eye on the way he's moving through the game, even after all he brought to the game and all that he already inspired. He's still inspiring. So for me, that's that was I could gain more from that than anything he could really tell me. You know what I mean? He gave me a lot of game.
But then verbally. I understand.
Right.
You're taking over that kind of spot with people.
Yeah.
You're mentoring people.
Yeah. I think it comes with age, man, and I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I still have so much more to do, but I've done so much already in a short period of time. I just turned 37. I feel like I've done so much in my little 37 years on this earth, you know what I mean? Where I could give a little game. I could see one of my friends or somebody that's younger than me steering off to the left, you know what I mean, and get them back on the highway. You know what I mean? Just because of what I've seen and where I've seen where that could go. So I'm definitely not somebody that's gatekeeping no game or you know what I mean? I'm gonna get that. That's for free.
You know, you talk about your 30s. I can remember in my 30s, I went to my father, and I said to my father, you know, he says, what's wrong? I said, I'm not happy.
Right.
And he said, let me tell you, son, the Declaration of Independence gave you a right to pursue happiness. It did not give you a right to be happy.
It ain't guaranteed or nothing. You gotta go get it. You gotta go get it. And you find out money ain't happiness.
Exactly.
You find that out. After money becomes the norm, that ain't happiness. Now, it might be happiness if when you're not seeing it.
Well, it helps.
It helps. You know what I mean? But
my father used to say,
that's not happiness.
It gives you a sixth sense in order to enjoy the other five.
Right. It do. It do. You know what I think about as far as money, and it's crazy, is like anything I do for my kids, right? They have the time of their life. They don't know what I spent. They don't know how much it cost, anything. You know, all they know is the fun that came with whatever I just spent. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, it's worth it.
You know, I mean, after 60 years, I'm sitting in the business. I'm sitting here as a rookie podcaster. I mean, what the hell? I mean, you know.
Okay, bet. What made you actually wanna do what you did? Like, actually wanna be your name, Maury Povich. Right. Actually wanna make that a household name. Actually make that we're all given birth names.
Right.
So what made you want to turn your birth name into a brand? What did that?
I had no clue. I tell you, I had no clue. I was a journalist. I was a TV reporter, TV anchor in the news business. I used to do some local talk shows around the country. And then they had this idea of this talk show. And the first show the first incarnation was called the Maury Povich Show.
Right.
So I worked for Paramount, the studio. They own the show.
Okay.
Now I'm a free agent. I now sound with Universal, NBC Universal, but I don't own the name.
They owned it.
They own the Maury Povich Show. They don't.
But that's your name.
Right. But I can't say Maury Povich Show anymore.
Right.
So the new guys say, okay, we'll name it Maury.
Maury.
Just the way it was
so crazy.
Phil, Oprah, this Maury.
Maury.
Okay? So who the hell knew what was going to happen? And then over the years, because of the success of the show and the paternity tests and the lie detector.
Maury. Oh, man. I used to hear that. I'd be asleep. My mom's having it on. I'd be waking up to hearing that on the TV. Word.
I mean, it was just, who the hell knew? Yeah. But it just resonated.
Couldn't predict it.
And it resonated against all ethnicities, all socioeconomic stuff.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody tapped in. Everybody.
Yeah. You know, guys like, I used to say this all, Shaquille O'Neal used to say to me, we used to bet all the time, big money, on whether he was the father. Me and my buddies.
Right, on the show, right.
I had NFL guys say, we'd be in the locker room watching the show. The coaches are up top wanting to come out. We won't go to practice until we find out
see who the dad was. Now, that's so, like I said, that's a staple, I think, in everybody's, at least in the last 30. If you're 30 years old, that was a staple in your household.
So tell me,
you know,
all the rappers who used my name in the lyrics.
Right.
Or take you on Maury, take you on that, doing this, doing that.
You're supposed to get publisher for that, man.
Is that right? Am I missing out?
They're using your name, man. You're supposed to get a little something for that.
Well, it's been great.
That's beautiful, yeah.
I thank you so much.
Thank you, man. This is, like I said, you're legendary, man, and to be involved and to sit down with you.
No, it also
This is
goes the
nice.
other way,
Right.
okay?
I appreciate it.
And I congratulate you on all your success.
I appreciate it.
And the best thing about it is you're not through.
Nah, we still rolling.
We have this little thing we do.
Okay.
It's called the 19th hole.
Okay.
It's when you can ask me a couple of questions
Okay.
and I will answer.
We're gonna
or
switch. We switching this up.
Yeah, we're
I get
switching.
I get to
You're-
interview
now
you.
you're the interviewer.
The legend, the goat.
Which, by the way, don't tell me you faked being sick to stay home and watch the show.
Oh no. Nope.
You have a hobby. How do you decompress? You got anything?
The gym.
The gym does it.
I like to work out.
So this is my hobby. This is it.
Golfing.
Oh yeah, that's all.
I want to get into it. I've been
do?
very interested, but I feel like I gotta get with somebody that golf. And they
Well, you
gotta- you know what I mean?
I mean, I've been around MJ
Okay.
golfing.
Okay.
Let me tell you who I think has become a really good golfer when he didn't start that way. Who came from your background? Ray Allen.
Ray.
Ray
He
has
nice.
really. Oh, Ray's the best.
He nice. I got it. Yeah.
Ray
I ain't
and
know
Ray
that.
has really become a good golfer.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead. See if you
Is
can.
my shot?
Yeah,
Is
go
it on-
ahead.
is it on
Yeah.
me? My stance right.
Don't matter.
Shoulders
You can
back.
in golf. You can do anything you want. Oh, close,
Too much power, man.
close. All right, wait a second.
gym I was talking
Wait,
about.
close. All right.
So if you had to pick your favorite restaurant in New York City, what would it be?
Well, let me see.
Wait,
Unfortunately,
what's the most frequent? Like when you
when I was going out a lot,
right.
it doesn't exist anymore. It was called the 21 Club.
21 Club. You ever had a chopped cheese before?
No, what's that?
All right, you know how Philly got.
Come on, baby.
Uh,
Try one more.
You know how Philly got Philly cheesesteak?
Do I know? I used to work in Philly.
That's popular for Philadelphia.
Come on, man. I used to work in Philadelphia. How about those idiot politicians who put Swiss cheese on their cheese steaks? Terrible.
In Harlem, we got something that's called a chopped cheese.
Chopped
Too
cheese.
much power.
That's all right.
So it's like a cheeseburger, basically,
Yeah.
chopped up.
Yes. Oh, chopped up. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Same way you would kind of do a Philly cheese, but
Right.
it tastes a little different.
But a burger. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's chopped up. There we go.
Boom.
There
Bingo.
we go. I had to get one.
Bingo.
I had to get one.
There you go.
I had to get one.
So, okay. So they do that where in Harlem?
It's all over New York City now, but
I never heard of that before.
it's you gotta you don't look like you be hopping out in bodegas like.
What do you mean?
You be doing that shit.
Street meat, baby. Are you kidding me?
Yo,
Charles Barkley.
Let me get a shot.
Charles Barkley calls it street meat.
Yeah. So
the best.
Me and you might have to run around and do that. Get
Are you kidding?
Get you a chop, man.
Charles has become a decent golfer now.
So you know what I'm saying? That's the like the shift into just like much like I don't want to say old age, but like as you get older, I feel
That's
like
right.
that's the shift. Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of people golf.
Yeah.
I think this might be my thing. I'm gonna give you the credit. If I get real nice in this, I'm gonna say, nah, I got that from Maury.
Shall I call
man.
Ray Allen and tell him
Me
to
and Maury-
be your mentor?
Please, please. That would be a real favor.
Ray lives
for
in
me.
Connecticut.
Yeah, ain't too far. I'll go pull up on Ray. Let's do it for sure.
All right. Good to see you,
Nah,
kid.
same here. Same here.
The best.
Same here.
If you've had as much fun as I did, make sure you subscribe to On Par with Maury Povich on YouTube and tap that little bell so you don't miss a thing. And if you like to listen on the go, we're on Apple, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcast. Hit that follow button. I'll be back with more before you know it. On Par with me, Maury Povich, is brought to you by Mopo Productions, A Better Life Media, and Radley Studios, with executive producers, me, Maury Povich, Holly J. Mirabella, and Christian Thompson. Supervising producer Mike Bornasian, and directed by Mark Leibowitz.